Welcome to another edition of On the Beach. We've got an interesting gentleman today who's taken quite an unusual direction in life, and as a driving instructor. Please meet Deucalion. Yes?
That's the one, yeah, well done.
A very cool name.
Yeah.
Where's that come from originally?
So Deucalion was it's an ancient Greek name. My mother's quite a well-read lady. I think she was just forever reading.
Sounds like you should have a big lance or
yeah,
something, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you didn't arrive on a horse, did you?
No, but a lot of people expect it. But my mum, I think she read it in a book, and Deucalion was the son of Prometheus, and my mum decided that it would be a good idea to punish me with the name. So
I wouldn't regard it as a punishment. I think it's a very cool name.
Yeah.
So tell us, driving instructing.
Yeah.
Well, we've not had that on the show before. So what led you to become a driving instructor?
Yeah. So I mean, I think first of all, people they hear driving instruction as an industry, and I don't think it screams much excitement for a lot of people. I think they expect.
I don't know. I think there's bound to be quite a bit of excitement.
Yeah. Well, normally not for the right reasons, but but no. I mean, it's an industry that's predominantly dominated by men in their 50s, 60s, maybe on their third career, normally ex-naval or something along those lines.
Right.
But when I was younger, I never aspired to be an instructor, but it was when I was learning, when I was 17 years old. And I'd actually had about 5 or 6 different instructors, and the reason for that was because every single one of them was just awful.
Really?
The first one just used to shout and scream and swear. The other one, yeah. So I went somewhere else, and he just didn't turn up, or he'd turn up 20 minutes late. Then I went somewhere else, and he'd answer his phone in the middle of lessons, and there was just a catalogue of poor examples. Yeah. And even at 17, it clicked, and I thought, actually, this is an industry that needs a bit of a revamp, and that was something I thought even then I could do.
Okay. Sounds like it was a good idea, and I can totally get what you're saying. You know, people that are set in their ways at that sort of age and so on. So you've shaken it up. So what have you done to make it such a different experience for learners now?
Yeah, I mean, the most obvious thing is I think is that it's just the way you treat people. So if you look at 1Drive's reviews on social media or on our website or on Yale or Google, the one thing that's consistently stated across all of the reviews is lessons were fun. It didn't feel like work. I didn't feel like the learning was hard work. It just happened. So first and foremost, I just treated people as if I'd met them in the street. Yeah. I try and keep things simple, and I try and develop a good rapport. Some of my best friends are people that I taught to drive, and I met them through.
That's a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's amazing what a difference that makes. Is just in the way you treat people
and the rapport and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
So driving instructor with personality, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So did you say 1Drive? Is that what you call it?
Yeah,
business?
1Drive.
1Drive. So take note. So 1Drive, and obviously that's catching on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing well, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's actually last month was the 3rd anniversary. So I trained with one of the major schools, and I was contracted to them for a year, and then I went on my own, and I set up the school, started on my own. I nicked some instructors from other places, and then this year, when we were growing, I'd launched a training program to recruit and develop new instructors into the industry.
So you train these instructors?
Yeah, so we got a training program from complete beginner.
So if somebody wants to become a driving instructor and is not 50 or 60 years old?
Well, they can any age, any gender. So I've just recruited my mum. So she just started.
I'm not going there. I'm not going to ask. But if you're going to recruit somebody, whatever age they are, they've got to follow, as it were, your footsteps. They've got to adopt your same approach.
Yeah. So we're quite, as a school, we're quite particular about who we work with.
Okay.
So I would not just take anyone, any instructor, because they have to fulfill a certain criteria. They have to see things the way I do. And if I don't get the impression from someone that they're going to provide a similar or comparable service, then they're not good for my business, because I don't want just a driving school.
Correct.
I want a driving school that people talk about. I want a driving school that changes the image of the business, because the business needs it. It's, as I said, as we've already suggested, it's an industry that doesn't scream out excitement, and it's an industry that, if you speak to most learners, most of them will tell you that at some stage they had an instructor who was not very pleasant to them, and we need to change that.
Yeah, sounds like a damn good philosophy, actually. Maybe you can get into taxis next or something.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's you good 3 years. It sounds like you're now, what, franchising? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So the instructors, as I said, so they're trained by me and mentored by me the whole way through from the point they say I'm looking at becoming a driving instructor to the point they deliver their first lesson and beyond. I've developed them. And
do you sort of sometimes go out with them when they're teaching and things?
Yeah. So it's part of the role. When they're new, they have ongoing training, so I'll sit in the back and I'll develop them and make sure that they're doing things the way we.
I've just got this image in my head of the flight school, you at the front of the classroom, and all these.
Yeah.
As a driving instructor, you must have seen had some experiences. You want to tell us about any of them?
Yeah. So I actually, there's all kinds. I've been on 50-mile-an-hour roundabouts, and learners have pulled the handbrake up.
What?
It's just panicked. It's panicked. I've had people. I had one lady, bless her. She got into a routine of she would cry every lesson for half an hour straight, and she just needed to be left alone. And we'd have to go to a car park, and she'd just cry and cry. And if I tried to console her, she'd shout, she'd have a go, "Shut up, leave me alone." And she'd get out of her system, and then we'd carry on. And she was lovely. She was a wonderful woman. But the most peculiar situation was probably a girl who I taught, who's a good friend of mine, Ella. She was on her first ever lesson, and she turned up, and she was a bit nervous. And I'm telling her, "You're going to be fine, the roads, it's not that bad, we'll take it steady, we'll take it at your speed." And we've gone to the seafront, just down there actually, and we've kind of gone through all the controls.
Well, you teach in the Caribbean as well, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sorry.
No, so we'd gone through all the talks, and we'd explained all the controls, and we were just about to move off. We were just about to set off and start driving, and she's really nervous by this point. And we've heard this insane, what sounded like a plane had hit the ground and just travelled across it. It was huge, this massive crash, and it just elongated dragging of metal. And we looked down the seafront and couldn't see anything, but it was so loud that you knew it was something. So we actually got out of the car and looked down the seafront. And maybe half a mile down was like a 4-car pile-up. One car was on its top, another car was...
Really?
And so... and that was just as she was starting to set off. So we then.
That's not how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And bless her, she took it really well, because I know a lot of people that wouldn't have.
Yeah, it would have freaked them out.
Yeah, but we just had to. I felt really bad because I had to get her to kind of drive through the carnage, because there was nowhere else to go. Yeah. But she was good. Yeah, she was good.
So, roughly how many people do you teach in a year?
I generally will have 30-odd learners at any one time. Most learners would take between 4 and 6 months to learn to drive.
Excellent.
So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Deucalion.
That's the one.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay.
I'm sure we've only touched the surface of it.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Very, very proud of you for what you've done, actually. That was a very good observation at the age of 17.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming on the show, and we'll maybe see you again.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.